Now, their strategy was to bait us into invading Afghanistan. And this is, as we talked about, the letter between bin Laden and Mullah Omar. So we're trying to get the Americans to invade Afghanistan, and then we'll do to them the same thing that we did to the Soviets, same thing we had helped them do to the Soviets. So that was the strategy. That was why they tried to knock down the World Trade Center in 93. That was why they hit the Khobar Towers. They didn't think we were going to run away crying. They were trying to get us to double and triple down, to invade, spend money. It's asymmetric war. It's a group of a couple of hundred bandits against the global empire. How did they beat us? They get us to beat ourselves. They get and this is what's poetically beautiful and horrible here, is that bin Laden's son, Omar, gave an interview to Rolling Stone magazine in 2010, where he explains, he says, when Bush was elected, my father was so happy. This is the kind of president he needs, one who will attack and spend money and break the country. He says, Bill Clinton fired missiles at my father and didn't get him. But now this is in 2010. Now you've been in Afghanistan for 10 years and you still don't have him. America then was very smart, not like the bull that runs after the red scarf. So the point being not that George Bush's stupidity makes him innocent. It's that George Bush's stupidity and cruelty and corruption made him the perfect mark for a guy like bin Laden. This wimp with the cowboy hat, pretending he's a tough guy, is going to be very easy to provoke into doing what he wants, right? To get away with bloody murder on his end, which is what the Al-Qaeda guys wanted for our side to do, was to and look at our national debt. You might say it has worked some.
I think we're very much starved for truth tellers in this day and age. Like we get fed so much bullshit and so much spin and so much media hype and propaganda that when you have somebody that's just straight diagnosing exactly what's going on and not afraid to tell the difficult truth, that it's really refreshing to hear. So this is a lot of stuff that I didn't know about. I didn't realize the extent to which it was so bad. I mean, I was just a baby growing up during the time when all of this stuff was happening. When you really look at the strategy that they were using to employ to get us dragged into these conflicts, and now you look at 20 to 30 years later, and we're still bogged down in this, and our national debt is absolutely exploding. We're closing in on $40 trillion. And we're bankrupting the middle class. We're doing all these expansionist and, exhibitionist wars overseas, wasting resources, and the country is suffering as a result. We have mental health crises and middle class shrinking and affordability crises and all of this bullshit, yet the military budget continues to go up. We are just as recently as a month ago, bombing Iran and allowing Israel to ravage the Middle East and, leading to, further and further escalating and making these situations worse. You need to support people, or you need to amplify people like Scott Horton. These messages, the reality needs to be understood, and we need to be able to come to grips with the situation and how to make it better. Drop a comment, join the discussion, subscribe to the channel, keep in touch, and I'll see you guys in the next one.